Stories stir the soul.
Stories reveal.
And stories heal.
In this podcast, we will give you an inside look at someone who's had a life-changing breakthrough.
Real people, real stories with real breakthroughs. As a health and wellness expert and coach, and Todd as a men's mentor,
we've seen firsthand what God can do when it comes to a breakthrough. So lean in, listen well. This could be your biggest breakthrough. Hey, welcome to another episode of Your Biggest Breakthrough. I'm Todd Isberner.
And I'm Wendie Pett. And this podcast is part of the Spark Media Network, and it can now be found on the Edify app.
That's awesome.
It is. All right, Todd.
Yes, Wendie.
We just completed a series, for the
episodes,
30 of
yes.
episodes,
Mm-hmm.
but it was all around the 30-day Get Unstuck challenge. And that was around work-life balance, money matters, and social media. And so we addiction, or just management, or however you want to put it.
Immersion. Addiction.
But we talked that we would do like a little, assessment ourselves and see how you, the listener, did. How did we do?
Well, we got to back it up just to make certain people understand what we're doing, right?
That's backing up the bus.
You and I were talking a few weeks ago. Thanks for those sound effects. And as in our discussion, there was some frustration over some areas of our life that we are unhappy with.
Yeah, that we haven't
we were
fully
stuck.
mastered. Yeah, we're a little stuck.
A long ways from fully mastering.
They're
stuck
in
points.
sometimes.
But as
They
you and I
are.
talked about our stuck points, we realized this is pretty much common with a lot of people we know, and the stuck point
Because we've had these conversations lately. Yes.
with others.
With others, right.
And
right.
people find sometimes they're stuck in a rut of trying to figure out the work-life balance because we call it on-demand work-life. You are on demand all the time as long as you've got battery life in your phone.
Yeah.
Or in your computer. And it's because you're accessible.
No, I think it's more if you respond to those that are, sending emails.
Yeah, but I mean,
or
think
text
about this. If
messages.
you didn't have a phone and you didn't have a computer,
That's true.
you would probably start work. I'm talking about you now, not
me.
But you would start work at 9 and you'd wrap up at 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just call it a day.
Like we ought to do.
We should all go back to flip pphones like my dad. He's
We
like,
should.
yeah, seriously.
I'm
he
for
had
it.
a smartphone. He's like, I don't even want this. Give me that flip
he's
phone.
so smart. Seriously, you can't spend time scrolling on social media and all the other stuff. So we said that was a big problem for a lot of us. The second stuck point is this whole social media.
No, it was money management.
Oh, that's right. Okay, money
Yeah.
mismanagement, really.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you really get a hold of that? Because most people we know have got somewhere in the back of their mind this constant, like, computer program running about money-related issues, either having, too little or not sure to do
Or
what
where
to do with the extra.
invest
or all of
tithe.
that stuff that occupies our brain thought that is related to money. So we thought, well, let's talk about this and find out, is there a better way to manage money and have a better perspective on it? And then the third thing
is the social media. Yeah. Because social media and it just keeps kind of escalating as for, there's new platforms and hey, are you on this? Are you on that? And I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't even be on another platform, but it's not going to go away. So how do we manage ourselves in the midst of the social media? Just immersion
that leads to addiction.
Exactly. The thumbs ups and the hearts and all that thing. So we, attempted, I'm not going to say that we did extremely well, but we're going to talk about that. We attempted to go through this ourselves, and we're going to go through it again because.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
So
we got better.
We got better thanks to the help of some of our guests. So our first guest, Al Hamid, did an awesome job. What episode was that?
That was episode 68. So first we talk about this whole 30-day Get Unstuck challenge in episode 67. So
kind of lay it out.
We laying it out.
Along with some practical suggestions of our own.
Right. And they are good. They're good.
We just need to implement them.
Well, we did. We started
more consistently.
We're going to be really raw and authentic on this one for sure. But yeah, in episode 68, Al Hamid, he really he's such a great example of work-life balance. And
Well, he
what
laid
an
out
inspiration.
he laid out the four-quarter operating
system.
Yes. It's real simple. You break your 24 hours into 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Like a competition, like a football game. And you, within those 4 quarters, just make certain you do the certain things that you need to do during each one of those quarters.
Right.
So he broke his down. I've got mine. Wendy's got hers.
Yep.
You have yours?
I do. Okay. I do. But every day for me, it actually is a little adjusted, where you're a little more disciplined on the exact time. Mine, it may adjust an hour or two.
Well, let's give an example.
Okay, well, maybe I have a podcast I'm doing at a certain time where normally I wouldn't have started my work first quarter at that time, but I adjusted it, or maybe it's later or whatever. Or maybe I decided to go for my walk that morning instead. Here we go.
No, I'm listening how you're mixing around the quarters.
I do. I mix them around a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's just,
well, the
I
whole
like flexibility.
Point is to
Not to
really
be
have
flexible?
to have enough structure so that it doesn't bleed into areas that shouldn't be interfered with. So, for example,
like the
you and I both have in our first quarter designated amount of time for getting up, getting ready for the day. We have devotions together, which is awesome.
Our stretching, our little workout warm-up stuff.
So there's really sort of some private time,
basics,
individually, as a couple, and with the Lord.
Yep.
So that goes for me, typically from 6:30 to about 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and for me, it's about the same.
It's pretty close.
But about a 30-minute difference. Usually I'm more like about 9:30.
So I like to get in, a certain amount of exercise and all that good stuff. Get that stuff finished up by 9 o'clock so that I'm ready to go.
Which seems late for a lot of people. We understand that, but our schedule is just it's just different.
Well, sometimes we run a little later, but anyhow, that's my first quarter, our first quarter, so to speak. Yeah. For me personally, the second quarter runs from about 9 till about 4 in the afternoon. And I break that into 2 parts. One part really has more to do with outreach kinds of things, phone calls, getting caught up with people. The other part of that is a lot of just the life management stuff. It's just the stuff on the I've got on my iPhone the reminders list, and I try to work through the top 6 of those.
Real quick, wait a minute. So from 9 to 4, you're calling that whole thing a quarter? Shouldn't you cut that? That's like a long quarter.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is okay. Let me
wait a minute.
Let me back that up. Do the sound effect. Thank you very much. All right. So really, for me, it's more like 9 to noon.
Okay, there we go.
And that's where I do more of the life management, like the emails, getting back to people, the business end of stuff that I got to do.
Yeah.
Then at noon, I will typically take off between noon and 1 o'clock.
For lunch.
Just kind of have a little bit more downtime, and then I'll crank it back up. From 1 to 4, and love that period of time as well, because I'll do some outreach calls and some things that are a little bit more fun, not quite as stressful in the whole life management stuff to do.
Yeah.
And then after that, at 4 o'clock, I
shut it down.
I shut work down, and I move into workout mode.
Yep. And I usually don't shut down till 4:30 or 5.
That's right. So when I'm finished up like around 5 or so, now I've kind of got all that stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like to work out early in the morning. I don't. I'm a workout between 4 and 5.
Yeah.
After that, it's kind of up for grabs. We have dinner together. Sometimes we take a walk. Sometimes we cheat and we go back to work. We're checking emails.
No.
What do you mean no?
What? No, I'm just saying not with.
What?
We've been doing really well.
But there are times where during that period after 5 o'clock, like at 7 o'clock, I'll pop my computer open.
But why?
Or the phone will notify me, because I'm very bad. I'm a bad person.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Why? Because I get off the system. I break
That is so
rules.
common. So that's what we want to address here, is that we're not perfect at this at all, but we really are striving and desire to be in a better place here. But Al Hammond really breaks it down well, and we have specifics to go by. And so we are going to continue to tighten this up, and we're going to continue to challenge ourselves, and we hope you will as well. And we're going to bust out this challenge later on in this year as well, so you can follow along and do it with us again. But my goal is to master it.
I'm going to hold you accountable.
Oh, I'm going to hold you accountable.
That's the whole idea. Exactly.
And we're going to hold you accountable.
Listen, if you have a spouse and you guys want to kind of jump in this together, I mean, 2 are better than 1. And it is easy for each other to support the other, because I mean, I'll come to Wendie and I'll bust myself and we've just got to work together if we really want to sharpen this. And so why do we have to be so disciplined and so rigid and why do we got to get this all done so that we can better handle the real priorities of life?
Yeah, and it's family. It's being present. It's really about having that self-care and not working yourself to the bone, as my mom used to say. Work yourself to the bone.
Yeah.
It's you got to have the healthy boundaries, right?
And if we do those things that you just mentioned, we're going to be, I think, a lot more productive and happy during the time that we call work.
And I have noticed as we have put this into place that we have been more productive in less amount of time. And again, we haven't mastered this, so I'm not going to let you believe or come across like we have, because we haven't. But I can definitely tell a difference. In what we have implemented for sure.
And you and I have this one thing going, I think, and that is we love to compete. And so, like
In a
right now,
healthy,
I think
fun
I'm
way.
a little ahead of the game.
He
than
is.
you.
He
and
is.
So,
And that's
come
okay.
on, step it up, woman. You're kidding.
Yes, we are a little competitive
We're
in a
running
good
this
way.
race together. All right,
Yes.
so shall we move on to the
Money
financial
management?
money
Yeah. So
Okay.
so that's a topic that can be, it can probably either just make your, I don't know, maybe it stresses you out to the max, just even thinking about money, because you may have, a poor understanding about money, and maybe you have something embedded in your mind about money that you grew up learning about, or the feelings around money and all those things. So this is something that's really important. And Riley Meek in episode 69 really hit home on so much about what money is really about, and how it's not to be our master, and how we are to manage it. It's God's money. We are here to manage it well.
Well, it all starts with having a right perspective and a right understanding of where money fits into our lives. And so Riley shares biblical principles on what money is all about in our lives.
Right.
And I love that, because that's the starting point. There are so many references in Scripture. There are more references about money than there is about heaven and hell combined, or about prayer. I know that sounds a little cheesy for me to say that, but the only reason I mention that is because I believe that God has given us this thing we call money, this item that we can do transactions with, as a helpful tool. To learn disciplines in life, and learn how to be generous, and learn how not to be a slave to money. And I believe God wants us to be a whole lot more free and generous when it comes to that. So our goal is to figure out, what are we doing right and what are we doing not right at all?
Right. And how can we tighten that up? And there's always room to get better with our finances. And so, are you spending more than you realize? I mean, if you don't know where your finances are, it's hard to know where to make it better, right? So have you even evaluated that in your life? And
know your numbers.
And know your numbers. Yeah. And so we have been doing better at getting to know our numbers. We are not fully there yet. Right, Todd? I mean, we just had this discussion because I'm just confirming that we haven't got all of our T's crossed and all of our I's dotted, because there's still some things that we need to put in our spreadsheet.
Yeah, we need to do more analytics, if you will.
Analytics.
It's not that tough these days, but I don't like doing that stuff. It used to be just with a calculator and paper. Now we've got some great tools at our disposal, like QuickBooks and other software programs. Even your bank, a lot of times will be able to lay out charts, or your credit card company. So I'll go in and I'll look at those and see, are we using the same language for the categories and whatnot. But honestly, I truly dislike having to go that deep into analyzing everything.
But I don't think you're alone there. But I think
I'm not. No, I'm not.
Right,
no,
right, and that's why this is part of the challenge. But but I think if we change our language around it too, Todd. So instead of I don't like this, I hate this, I dislike it.
Why do I have to?
Yeah, right. So if we start to change our language around it, it'll help us and free us up to see that, okay, you know what, I actually do everything that I do, and I'll do it unto the Lord. So if we look at it differently as, you know what, I get to.
So you give me can you give me an example here? Just I should say
I get to put my finances
in. Did I say
in.
Get or get?
I get it.
I get to.
Yeah, I just got back from Texas. Yeah, okay. So get, G-E-T, get to I get to break down my finances and really see what is allocated here and there and everywhere, and where can I tighten this up so I can tithe more in this direction, or save up for maybe a vacation or whatever. It gives you just a better understanding, and yeah, I guess we get to.
That's a good attitude. I mean, it really is. If I get the attitude of, okay, there's some great software tools that I can use
that will help
to really break things out more specific, because we have a general idea,
Sure.
I mean, more than a general idea.
Yeah.
And my daddy raised me and my mom like, look, this is the deal. You never spend more than what you got. It's like, that's pretty simple. Like, if you don't got it, you don't spend it, period.
Right.
So we've lived by that. But it's good
as far
to know
as breaking
exactly,
it down, like to the penny. That's what we're talking about.
Because we know we're going to find, and I've already found some of this in the first 3 months of evaluated the first 3 months of this year, find certain things like, okay, I didn't realize we're spending that much on that thing there.
Yeah.
And that thing there ain't all that important to have that much money spent on it.
You know, I remember, this made me just, I went to the bank one time. This was years and years ago. And the banker was helping me through some of my finances. And he said, one of the main things I see on people's statements that they don't realize, and this is way back when, I guess I say way back, but Redbox, I mean, I guess it's still around. I don't know.
Oh, you mean the video thing? The video store?
Yeah, it's like $1.
The cassettes?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
I did
the
see one the
VCRs.
other day, which was kind of weird. No.
Or the...
no, DVDs.
Oh, DVDs.
You're going way back, cassettes.
I'm sorry. I went to the cassette things that you stick in.
You're talking VCR.
All right.
Okay, so anyway, I did see one the other day, but he said, I couldn't believe, this is the way he was saying to me, how many of my clients come in and there's all these dollar dings on their statement, and they don't realize that it adds up to even like $50 to $100 a month, and just getting rid of that alone. So maybe you are, I don't know, a coffee drinker. Maybe you're going to Starbucks a lot. Hey, why do you look at me like that?
Because that's an area
you whipped your neck right around.
I have so improved in.
You have. I did not say you.
Spending less money.
But I'm just saying, you may have something that you're doing frequently that you don't realize that it really does add up, and just having it calculated allows you to shift gears a bit.
True. So you got to start there. You have to know your numbers. But after you know your numbers, you go, okay, so I've got myself in a fine mess here. What do I do about it? And the reality is there's so much help, like just right around the corner for you. You don't have to go too far. You can certainly Google things like courses on money management. You can Google things like getting free budget forms. You can start there, just make out a simple budget. You can go to Dave Ramsey and all the Ramsey solutions that are available.
Well, and I don't think Riley was a fan.
Well, there's certain things that Dave would teach that... No. That's when it comes.
But you got to find what's right for you.
That's when it comes to investing. But the point is there is help. Yeah. In fact, there's help with others. So I have.
But you have to admit it that you need the help, right?
Yeah.
In order to take it.
We already did that. We just admitted it.
I know we did. I'm talking about the listener.
All right. Well, we're moving along to the area of what you can do about it.
Yes.
And that is get help.
Yeah, get help.
And there are people around you who you already know they manage money really well. Talk to them.
Yeah.
Ask them for their help. They'd be, I'm telling you, thrilled to be able to jump in and to help you figure out how you can do better in managing your finances.
And I mean, you just had someone come to you recently. And again, we haven't mastered it, but yet they know that we're in a better place than maybe they are. And so with managing our money, so they came to you for advice. And so you might be willing to, you might be a good person to help somebody else if you are managing your money
exactly
well.
Right.
So.
Yeah. All right. So that's a big part of everybody's life. That's one we have to have breakthroughs on. Got to get a handle on that one.
Episode 69, Riley Meek.
The third thing really doesn't affect me a lot, so I'll let you talk about it mostly. And that's that whole social media immersion addiction thing.
Yeah. That would be.
No, we just checked our phones to track to see how are we doing in the past couple of weeks on social media consumption. Okay.
Yeah. And that Cara, she was on, she was great.
Oh man. She was truly addicted to it.
Yeah, she was.
And I so admire this woman's decision to figure out a simple process. It's just a plan. I mean, if you don't have a plan,
and
you're
it's
just
discipline.
You have to stick with the plan.
Yes.
And she did. She made a very solid, strong decision. Here's the way I'm going to handle social media, because she found even her friends were saying like, what are you doing? You're always on your phone scrolling.
Yeah.
She had family members, and it was affecting, her marriage. And
yeah, so you want to listen to that for sure. But
making that decision freed her now to manage social media. And she literally does it, I believe she said 3 times a day for a designated period of time, 10 to 15 minutes. And that is a great discipline and a great plan and a great process. So why not everybody just do that? We'd be a whole lot more free to spend quality time with doing other things that have greater value
100%.
than just snooping around on Facebook or Instagram or stupid TikTok
stuff. Oh yeah, right.
Come on.
But there are some funny things on there. But anyway,
you want entertainment? Look in the mirror. That's what I tell people.
Oh my, okay. So yeah, it was one of those things that is harder for me than Todd, because I'm on social media more, and I've always used the excuse of, well, that's where my clients are, or that's where my work is, and it's true, but I don't have to be on it as much. There can be designated times and just healthy boundaries around those times, and so I feel like I did much better. I'm 11% down from last week, but the week prior to that, I was down 28%. But this is like all, not just social media. This
what's
is
funny about that? When you mention percentages, I'm down 28%. Just think about that for a second. From what? What if the consumption is that's from 10 hours?
That's a good point. So anyway, I'll just give you an example. So last week, my social was 7 hours. That means an hour a day I'm spending on social, which is almost about where I'd want it to be, about 40, because of what I do on social media and with my clients. So really, I'd like to tighten it up about 15 to 20 more minutes shaved off each day. So I'm well on my way. But yeah, it's been interesting. It's even like looking at the pickups, how many times we pick up our phone. Yeah. I think that was more shocking than anything. When we first looked at this, we were both surprised that we were picking up our phone like 140 times a day.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And this is from notifications or just being whatever, you're bored or you're in a line at the grocery store and you just automatically, out of habit, pick up your phone, flip it, whatever, instead of engaging with the person in line. Whatever it is, but you're picking up your phone. Well, I have dropped down to 75 times a day.
Yeah.
On average. So that's much better.
Huge improvement, really.
But wow.
It frees you up to, I guess, take advantage of opportunities that God can bring your way.
Well, sure.
Where you can actually
engage
have your attention
with a human being.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the really cool thing about taking this seriously, and that is that you've got all the tracking that you possibly could hope for if you've got a smartphone, right? Yep. Doesn't matter whether it's an iPhone or an Android. You're going to be able to see exactly the broken down analytics of where you're spending your time.
Yeah. By day, by week.
What's cool about that is, especially I think for Wendie, because she uses it more than I do. But again, there's that competitive thing that, you check and say, okay, am I down? Yeah, I'm going down. That's good. It actually motivates you to get better and better at it.
Yeah.
And in the process of competing with yourself, as you look at the analytics on your phone, you're now freeing up more time and finding yourself becoming more productive, more present, and less addicted, less shackled to this thing. So this is what we want for us. This is what we want for you. And if you're thinking, well, I don't have that much of a problem, maybe you don't, but the phone doesn't lie. When it does the
maybe
reports,
you don't think you do.
It'll tell you. And I'm amazed. I haven't been on this very often, but you can really you can drill down into some fine detail of how you're spending that time on your phone.
Yeah, it even...
Or on your computer.
Shares how long you were on chess.
Yeah. This is her way of trying to bust me.
Hey, that's all I've got. I think it was like 43 seconds or something like...
It's a brain game. I think I'm actually getting smarter.
Okay. You are smarter.
And so I'm going to increase the time on chess.
I actually added a game.
You did. I saw that yesterday.
It was a word find. It's a brain game.
Your screen time's going to go up. The other thing, we have these Whoop bands, and we find ourselves a lot of times checking the Whoop app to find out how's my strain level.
Or if you have an Apple Watch, you might be. Yeah. But so anyway, just check it out. You might be surprised, and you can shave off time there.
So practical solution, and this is what Cara drilled home, and it's what we're trying to implement, and that is just make a plan. for how you're going to consume social media.
Yeah.
So literally that means pick an amount of time daily that you want to spend. Yeah. Maybe for you that's okay, I don't want to spend more than 1 hour or 30 minutes. Then just break it up into 2 or 3 different designated times. Here's what's cool. She literally, puts it on her calendar. She schedules the time when she's going to do social media. And it's roughly about the same time every day.
Right.
And so for me, I don't have it scheduled, but I know approximately if I'm going to check it, when that's going to be, when in the morning and when in the late afternoon.
Yeah, and she's able, Cara was actually able to even psych herself up, so to speak, to get off of social media at that point, because sometimes you have to be like, okay, you've got, one more minute, make it a quality minute and you're out of here. So that discipline of shutting it down.
Good practice.
But my goal is, three times a day, 15 minutes each. And I think
when's your next designated? Let me check your schedule. I know we've got shared calendars. Is that on the calendar here for today? Let's see. No, I don't see it.
It's on my calendar, not on yours. Okay.
Not on the shared calendar.
No. Okay. I can share it. You want me to share it? More accountability.
Hey, I'm here to help.
Okay,
just here to help.
Good. All right. Well, I hope that you found this series of this podcast of Your Biggest Breakthrough helpful. We'd love to hear from you. And again, we will do this 30-day Get Unstuck challenge again with this series, but we just thought this would be a really great way to really jump into, and I know that you could be hearing this, episode a year from now, but right now we're easing into the summer months, and what a great way to actually enjoy the summer with your family and friends without being just shackled and chained to your cell phone or money mismanagement or your work instead of enjoying life. So
I want to give you just one quick little warning, and that is if you go and you listen to those episodes, you have to commit to doing at least one thing to implement. If you don't commit to that, don't listen to that episode. It'll be a waste of your time. It'll be very convicting. You'll do nothing about it. But seriously, our hope and our prayer for you is the same for us, and that is let's break through so that God can do more with our lives that count for things that are on his agenda.
That really matter. Yeah. That's so good. All right. God bless y'all. And thanks for tuning into this episode of Your Biggest Breakthrough. We'll catch you next time. Take care.
So glad you could join us today. And you'll find a new episode every Tuesday on your favorite podcast platform.
And if you've been encouraged by listening or viewing, would you just take a moment and give us a 5-star rating and a quick review? That'd be so awesome.
Yeah. And also please share this with your friends and loved ones.
If you have comments or questions, or if you're looking for an advertising opportunity, please get in touch with us at yourbiggestbreakthrough.com.
Or if you'd like to optimize your health and wellness, you can work directly with Wendie. Go to wendiepet.com.
Or if you're a guy and you're interested in mentoring and coaching, go to toddisberner.com. We look forward to having you join us on our next episode of Your Biggest Breakthrough.